this lesson we're going to look at reported speech tenses. In other words, what we do with the tenses when we turn direct speech into indirect speech. So for reported speech we use something called backshifting. Now this means moving back a tense from direct to reported speech. So we'll look at some examples. And this is direct speech. So she said, "I am ready." And this you can see is using the present simple. However, in the reported speech, she said that she was ready. You can see that we've moved back a tense because we've gone to the past simple. So we'll look at some more examples of backshifting in reported speech. So in the direct speech, "You will be late," he said. So you can see this one is using the future tense. In reported speech, however, this goes to using a past form, which is "I would be late." Another example, he said, "We have taken it." In this case, it's using the present perfect tense. In the reported speech, he had said they had taken it. So in this case, we're going back to the past perfect. So it's backshifted to one tense. So we'll now look at a reported speech tenses change chart. So this will show us some more examples of how tenses actually change. Now you will see reported speech does not go back a tense if it is already in the past perfect. That's because there's no further back it can go. Also, some modal verbs do not change, so you'll need to note that. So let's look at some examples of reported speech tenses and how they change. Firstly, we'll look at present tenses in reported speech. Now in the direct speech, here are some examples. "I want a holiday," present simple. "Bob is annoying me," present continuous. "I have eaten too much," present perfect. Or "the class has been interesting," present perfect continuous. But if we look at the reported speech, we can see that it has gone back a tense. So "I want a holiday" has gone back to the past simple, wanted a holiday. "Is annoying" has gone to was annoying. "Have eaten" has gone back a tense to past perfect, had eaten. Or "has been interesting" has gone back to had been interesting, the past perfect continuous. So we'll now look at the past tenses. So we can see in the some examples of direct speech here: past simple, past continuous, past perfect continuous. "I saw her arrive" goes back to "he told me he had seen her arrive," back to the past perfect. The past continuous goes to the past perfect continuous. So "were playing," had been playing. Now here you'll see we have the past perfect, "I had arrived." That can't go back any further, so it stays the same. "She said she had arrived before 9 a.m. Again, the past perfect continuous can't go back any further because the past perfect is the furthest you can go back. So "we had already been dating for 3 years." Mick told me they had already been dating for 3 years, so there's no change. Now we'll look at, for reported speech tenses, we'll look at modal verbs. So if we use this modal verb for the future will, "I will take you out tonight," "I can easily pass the test" for ability, "you must" for what you have to do, "we may go out later," what you might do. In reported speech, will goes to would, so he said he would take me out tonight. Can goes to could. She said she could easily pass the test. You can't use must in when we go back into the past. We actually have to use had to, so that changes to had to when we move must to reported speech. So "you must leave immediately" becomes "he told me I had to leave immediately." And may turns to might. "We may go out later." She said they might go out later. Here are some more examples of modal verbs, and in these cases there's no change. So ought to come out at 7 p.m, for example. He told me I ought to come at 7 p.m. Should stays the same. Would the same. Couldn't and might. So those will stay the same. So there are some exceptions to the rules that you should note. For instance, if the circumstances we are reporting on have not changed since they were directly said, then the tense would not necessarily need to be changed. So for example, if the direct speech was I am happy, you could then say she said she is happy. So we're implying that that person is still happy now. So they wouldn't necessarily need to be changed. It could be changed, but it wouldn't have to be. Another example is that the tense could, in cases, even forward shift. An example would be in relation to talking about a film or a book. If we look at an example, if you say the film was really good, you could say he said the film was really good and use the same tense, because obviously you still at that time thinking the film, showing that the film was good and is still good. Or you could say he said the film is good, because you're making the point that at this moment the film is still good because the film is still there. Note that here you can try and take a quiz at the top right hand corner if you click on that link, if you want to have a practice at reported speech tenses and how they change.